April 8th, and we had a successful youth season here at the Proving Grounds, while we also continue lots of field work.
Growing Deer TV is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops, also by Reconics, Trophy Rock, Muddy Outdoors, Non-Typical Wildlife Solution, Eagle Seed, Nikon, Winchester, Redneck Hunting Blind, Dead Downwind, Record Rack, Foxworthy Outdoors, Antler Dirt, Lacrosse Footwear, Scent Master, Bloodsport Arrows, and Prime Bows by G5.
I've got a youth model 20 gauge for my daughter Ray, and I'll be patterning my 12 gauge for my older daughter Raleigh and myself to use throughout the turkey season. That's a lot of shooting, especially with that 3-inch Magnum 12 gauge. The old lead sled will save the day once again. Ooh, that baby's a dead turkey. While we're at 10 yards, I'll go ahead and pattern my 12 gauge with the 3-inch Magnum. Won't be any more punishing than the 20 gauge was due to the lead sled. Pattern's a little bit lower than what I was aiming and a little bit to the right. That's the great thing about using a turkey scope. You can tell exactly where you're aiming versus a bead on a shotgun, which always leaves a little room for error. The bulk of the pattern, or a little bit more to pattern, is slightly to the right. So I'm going to adjust that scope just a little bit back to the left. Take another shot. Top to bottom looks perfect, and literally dozens, too many to count, of shot right in the kill zone. Looks like it may be slightly to the left. We'll pull back to 30 yards and see what happens. Pattern spreads out a little bit at 30 yards, but still plenty in the kill zone to bring that turkey home. Adam moved a redneck blind that's mounted on a trailer to boom back, as he had a Reconics camera located there, and the card showed a pretty good pattern of turkeys using that area throughout the day.
So what are you thinking? They either come through this pinch right there where that ladder stand is.
Oh, they come through up there. Yeah, they come down the road. Let's try that.
My youngest daughter Ray and I went to a blind I'd set up out on Clover Mountain, a lone skinny food plot planted in clover and wheat that I've known from past years happens to be a favored strutting area. Although Ray and I heard a few gobblers in the distance, it seemed like there was a bit more action where Raleigh and Adam were hunting.
Cool was that?
It was really good.
When Ray and I heard that shot, I couldn't wait to see if I got a phone call or text saying Raleigh and Adam had a bird down.
Your dad texted me and said, "You?" question mark. What I would call a super Jake.
I was thrilled that Raleigh and Adam had a great experience, and just as thrilled that the bird weighed 17 pounds, which is heavy for a Jake in this area, being a good indicator of our habitat work. Everyone knows I'm passionate about creating better habitat, not just making food plots or timber stand improvement, but designing and creating it in such a way that allows hunters a better chance of interacting with the wildlife they're helping to promote. Earlier last week, AJ and I had the opportunity to roll down to Louisiana and help some guys that had bought a piece of woods in the middle of a bunch of farmland. I had originally created a habitat management plan and a hunting strategy for this block of woods, but over time the ownership of that row crop land has changed hands, and now they need a new strategy to encourage critters to stay in that timber area and facilitate their hunting experience. Working with different landowners and understanding their goals and objectives and the limitations of their property helps me learn more about managing my own proving ground. Whatever activities you're involved in on your proving grounds, take a moment to enjoy spring and listen to the Creator. Thanks for watching GrowingDeer.tv. I like to hunt.